I want to start off this session by letting everybody know the most important thing you can do. And if you, and everybody write these things down, I'm getting ready to tell you, all right? Because if you take the lessons I'm going to give 5 lessons today, right? If you write down all 5 of these lessons, I promise you, this will be one of the best conferences you ever attended. If you take the lessons and then use them throughout this conference, it's going to have a huge impact on everything, right? So what I want to do right now is I want to ask a question, okay? If you leave your house in the morning and you do not know where you're going, how do you know when you get there? Victoria said, if you leave your house in the morning and you do not know where you're going, she said, you won't know when you get there. The point she is making is that part of getting where you're going starts off by determining where you are going. Because you know what? When you don't know where you're going, it don't matter what direction you go in. The direction is directly related to where you are going. So there's some skills you need first, though. Before we get a crystal clear picture, we want to acquire the skills we need so that we can put together a crystal clear picture, put together a plan, and execute that plan. So I am here today to talk about how you do that. The first thing I want you to write down as lesson number 1, though, is I want you to write down, 1, a clear vision. Be clear about where your life is going. Then you can put together a plan, you can put together a direction, right? My grandmother said, Sam, if 2 people are exactly alike, one of them ain't necessary. What it really means is that my grandmother was trying to tell me that, Sam, there's only one you on the planet. Don't spend no time trying to be like nobody else. No matter if you're trying to be like somebody else, she's saying you will never be successful because God didn't make you like nobody else. He made you you. He made you uniquely you. I mean, everything down to your fingerprint is totally different. Your lived experience is totally different than everybody else on the planet lived experience. So you got to understand that you have to bring who you are. My grandmother said, Sam, who you are is inside of you. It's like a seed. What it is inside of it. You got to work to bring what's inside out. It ain't about looking outside and finding out who you're supposed to be, because who you're supposed to be is inside of you. So here's the real work. The work is, can you bring who you are from the inside out? Do not get preoccupied with trying to be like somebody else. You will not be successful. So that's number 2. Everybody write that down. You have to be yourself. You cannot be like anybody else. Here's the 3rd lesson, everybody. The reason why directions or instructions is there is to give you guidance before you do something. Not guidance in the middle of doing it, not guidance after you're done, not guidance after you made the mistake. The directions are there to give you guidance before you do something. But it's following directions and following instructions is a form of listening. The person who came before you, the person who guided you, the person who created the test, the person who made the thing that you put together, the person who made the game that you playing, they put together the instructions or the directions that guide you. Why would you overlook the guidance and just jump right in? Sometimes we create difficulties for ourselves because we don't follow instruction, we don't take direction. And here's what I'm telling you. For all of you who going to your PhD or going to grad school, one of the biggest things you want to do is go talk to people who've been there. You want to be guided by people who have already traveled that path, all right? Now, so those are the first 3 lessons. So here's what number 4 is. 4 is you got to focus on listening versus hearing. The key is to study and practice listening. It takes time to do that. Focus your listening, and you will actually get a lot further in life. Most people don't actually listen, right? Most people, while other people are talking, they evaluating what they're saying. While the person's talking, they saying whether they agree or disagree. If somebody is talking to you and you decide whether you agree or disagree, are you listening? Not listening. What about while the person is talking to you, are you listening to them if you start asking them questions from your frame of reference? Because partially what's happening is when you're listening and you're taking notes, depending on how you're taking notes, you know what I'm saying, you are going in and out of the listening process, right? So listening requires your full attention when you do it correctly, okay? Lesson number 5 is to not just look, but to look and see. Is it possible for you to look at something and not see it? See, you have to pay attention to what's there. You see, you can't not see what's there, and you can't see what's not there. You have to be fully present. You have to see what's there. So the only reason why I'm doing that is because I want to show you that it's possible for you to look and not see. We got to make sure we're looking and seeing. That's number 5, all right? And here's the last one we'll do for the day. Let me ask this question. Knowing means you have experience. And so the difference between the mind having information and your being having experience is that being having experience means you know. You don't got to check it with nobody else. Your experience is your teacher. You know it. People have knowledge and they think because they have knowledge, they know. And when they think they know, their mind turn off. If you don't know something, just admit you don't know it. If you don't know it, be quiet and listen to the person who do know. When you spend time listening to people who know what they're talking about, you're going to go a lot further than if you do listen to people telling you what they think. My grandmother said it this way. She said, most people think they got an opinion, but the truth of the matter is the opinion has them. What? Here's the lessons, y'all. You know, one, most importantly, and all of the lessons that I'm going to give you today is that you have to constantly spend time improving yourself, making yourself better so you can make this world better than we found it.